micro bed rotting. So last night I bed rot for an hour before I went to sleep. So I was like, that's
microdosing bed rot. I am helping you coin that term immediately.
Welcome to You Plus Happy. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Rolling. Hello. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm Selena Marche, and this is You Plus Happy, where every other Tuesday I bring you someone who challenges us to define happiness and success on their own terms with a dose of laughter. I want to hear what you have to say. Please like, share, subscribe. Everyone says it because it really does help the show. So chime in. I want to hear it. And this week we have Haley Skinner.
Yes.
I should have asked before we started rolling.
That's all good.
I was like, I can read. Who is an artist and an actress, and I found out she's in my astrology. What is it, zodiac?
Yes, zodiac sign. We're both Cancer women. Yes. Come on, Cancer women.
We might cry. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen.
Get a little crabby. We'll see where it goes.
Welcome to the show, Haley. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be behind the camera with you legitimately. We were just in a movie together.
Yes.
Selena joined me on Black Velvet and actually interviewed my character, Maggie Black, as well as my co-star, Genesis's character, Velvet, on a You Plus Happy podcast in the movie. So Maggie Black is much cooler than I am, but she's pretty damn cool. She's a badass.
I'll let you know who wins after this interview.
Thank you. I appreciate
I'll let you know who stands out. But I was glad I got to meet her.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
She was a pleasure.
Oh my gosh. And it was so cool getting to have you in the movie. I feel like Black Velvet, and we can talk about this more too, but I feel like Black Velvet really uplifted the Atlanta community and made it a point to highlight small businesses within the Atlanta community. So I'm just so proud of that baby bird that they let loose in the nest, and it's good to see you again after the premiere.
For sure. And I had the privilege of going to the premiere. It was a really great movie, so definitely check it out.
Yes, please.
Links to, I always say this at the end, but you can check the show notes and you can find everything, I promise. So we'll switching gears. How did you get started?
Yeah, so I have always identified as a creative person. I actually got my start with visual art. So you noted that I also identify as an artist. For the longest time growing up, visual art, drawing, character design, that was my first love in terms of being a creative. And I actually really wanted to work as an animator as I was growing up. But I was a very reserved kid. I think I mentioned to you earlier, my dad was a single parent. I'm the eldest out of 5 and the only girl. Wow. So as you can imagine, we were a loud house, a loud and rowdy house. So I was reserved, and we did a lot of moving around, and that meant new schools and everything. So I didn't really find my niche until high school when I had to take an elective. And for some reason, that quiet, reserved girl who was just like scribbling in her sketchbook all the time decided to take drama as an elective. And it felt fantastic because, coming from a troubled youth, you're like, oh my God, any chance I have to escape my reality is something I want to eat up. And theater and acting gave me the opportunity to just step into somebody else's reality for a bit and wear their shoes. And I always like to say empathy is an actor's greatest tool in their tool belt, because if you can relate to another human's experience, you can begin to portray it respectfully and truthfully. So fell in love with acting in high school and decided, you know what, I'm going to try and pursue this professionally. So I attended what's called Thespian Convention, ThesCon, in Columbus, Georgia, where I auditioned in front of a panel of several different universities and actually got accepted into the school that I wanted to, Columbus State University, and studied Meisner techniques and stage combat and Shakespeare and heightened text. And that eventually led me to work for the Walt Disney World Company in Orlando. So I was working with the characters. I had an entertainment internship, and I loved that job, but Orlando didn't love me.
In what way?
I don't know if it was like something in the water or if it was like swampland, but I had a sinus infection like every other week. Like me and my neti pot were
Wow. Did the neti pot work?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay.
I swear by it.
I've never used the neti pot,
Listen,
but
It is nasty. It is not
Yeah.
cute.
Do you still use it here?
Oh, absolutely.
Because last year the allergies. Okay, this is not real. Talk about this later. The pollen was crazy.
Yes. Oh my God.
Orlando didn't love you back, so you left.
Yes, I came here to Atlanta. My dad and my stepmom lived in Grant Park at the time. My stepmom's still there. My dad's down in College Park.
Okay.
But I fell in love with Atlanta. I had it in my mind that I would live here for a couple of years, get my feet back underneath me. I was 22 at the time, so still very young, still finding my way in the world. Thought I would move to New York and pursue theater there, and I fell in love with Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I've been here for 7-8 years now.
Yeah,
so.
I fell in love with Atlanta as well. What you said about empathy for actors is so important, I think, because there was an interview with a big, like Robert De Niro, somebody really you will all know.
Yeah.
And he played a very bad guy, and he said, how did they ask him how did he play that role? You know, he was like, he doesn't think he's bad.
No.
You know what I mean? And that's like a beautiful, not beautiful like that, but to rewire our brains and I think you have to be empathetic, but also open-minded to say, like Kevin Bacon played a child essay, and he's like, this guy doesn't think he's bad, you know? And so I think it opens the door to, I'm not accept any of those things, but to just understand human nature and understand each other.
Oh, absolutely.
And like, this is crazy and this is taboo, but if someone could be open enough to say they're having urges that could hurt someone before they do it, but it's so shunned they can't.
Exactly.
So I feel like in a way, actors telling stories and like opening our minds to not just say, oh, this person is garbage. It's like, no.
Oh my gosh.
We went through all, just to just write this person off.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we went through, this person is doing this because it doesn't excuse the behavior, but it helps you understand a little bit more and have that empathy and be compassionate to another human. It doesn't mean you let them in your house or around your children.
Please and thank you.
But it's not like getting stoned, you know?
Yes, exactly.
So I really think that empathy part is so important, you know?
Yeah.
And when you talked about moving around a lot as a child, I did too. Wait, did you go to a lot of different schools? You went to, like, how many elementary schools did you go to?
Oh my God, maybe like 3 or 4.
Really?
3 or 4, really and truthfully. And it was like, as soon as I would like start feeling comfortable, it was like, well, it's time to uproot and move again.
I didn't even bother making friends. I moved 7 times.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So I was like, so wait, how did you deal with you had your brothers?
I did have my brothers. So we, just full transparency, the place that we were able to set down roots and stay the longest was in North Georgia.
Okay.
It was in between Blue Ridge and Ellijay, Georgia. Very much paddle faster, I hear banjo music.
What is it called? Paddle?
Paddle faster, I hear banjo music. I don't know if you've ever seen The Deliverance, but it's like hee-haw, like woods, mountains, nobody for miles.
What's a paddle faster?
Paddle faster is from the movie The Deliverance.
Okay.
So if you're scared of being in the country, don't watch that movie. It's really freaky, but that's literally the area I grew up in. They filmed that movie there.
Wow.
So it was very isolating, but we did have each other. My brothers and I had each other, and some of my brothers will look at me and be like, that's my mom. That's my mom.
Really?
Because, you know, they didn't have a female presence growing up, except for me. And I still try to hold them accountable as well. Because
what's the biggest age gap?
Me and my youngest brother. So my youngest brother was born in 2001. I'm about to show my age here. 1996 baby myself. So we were pretty close together. 3 of them are triplets.
What?
So yeah, triplet brothers.
This is a lot.
Halloween. They were born on Halloween.
You're an actor. This is a show. This
yes.
is a TV
No.
show.
I always joked that we needed a reality show.
That's crazy.
Yes.
And sidebar, why would I ask you what's the biggest age gap? Like, obviously it's the youngest one, but I just meant like in years.
Oh, okay,
so how old is he now?
So he just turned 24.
Oh,
he just turned
okay,
24.
okay.
And the triplets on Halloween, they're turning 27. Yeah.
Wow.
Wild. It's wild.
Triplets? Was it is this?
Yes,
TMI?
natural. No. This is not
I don't know if it's supposed to
TMI.
ask that.
No. So 2 of them are identical. 1 of them's fraternal. My mom had us much later on in life. So like as you age as a woman, you start dropping more eggs. And she had 2 eggs.
How old was she?
She was 43.
And she got triplets?
She got triplets. And then another one. Another one after that. So yeah, y'all, just Listen,
That scares me so bad. And I should not say this, but I'm like, I feel like I wouldn't want triplets or twins.
Oh, girl.
No, not for the obvious reasons. Not for the obvious reasons. Because they would like each other more than me.
Oh, man.
I feel like I would feel like an outsider.
No.
Because they were talking and they'll be like, oh, there's that lady who tried to birth us.
Girl,
I'm like,
no.
I'm your mom. Hi, I want to be friends. And I feel like I would be bullied by my twins.
Oh my God, absolutely. No, like my youngest brother and I are by far the closest.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, the triplets, like, you've been together since the womb. Like, that is a bond.
You're not
that
going to talk to me. Do they talk to you?
Oh, yeah, they talk
But like,
to me.
do they confide in you and all
Not
that?
like with each other. Not like with each other. The youngest and I are tight because it was like when the triplets were picking on him, I would show up and be like, okay, chill out.
See? I'm going to turn my twins against each other. Like, he was talking about you in the car. You check them.
Just so you know, love mom more than your twin.
Yeah, you think your twin has your back. He doesn't.
Oh, no.
No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. I don't know.
My husband's sister just had twins, and his dad is a twin, and I'm like, the risk for multiples is too high with me. I'm just gonna chill.
Is your dad or mom, are they twins?
No,
They're twins in their
no,
family? And your
the
mom
triplets
just
were the first. They were an anomaly. Like, came out of nowhere.
I don't like it. Not church, just like that's
like
scary.
finding out.
They're doing the sonogram. They're like, there he is. There's the baby. Oh, there's another one.
That's literally how it happened.
Then another one.
I was in the hospital room with her. She wouldn't talk to my dad for weeks. He had to send
It's
her.
not his fault.
He had
It's
to
your
send
fault
her
for
to an
dropping all those eggs.
all-expense paid vacation
Oh my
before she
God.
went to
It's not his fault.
It was like one more, and he gave her.
I would have been like, we don't go together anymore. We're just roommates. Do not.
Oh God. Oh God. Yeah,
We're
no,
done.
No.
I would be so scared. I would never date again or have a husband.
It's like one and done.
We're divorced. Oh no, that's crazy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a rowdy time, but I think it made me really strong.
Yeah.
It made me flexible, and it made it to where I could adapt to any situation at a young age. I don't think many kids should go without a mother, but it made it to where I was able to really work to find ways to be nurturing and a caretaker and loving on people, because that wasn't something that we always had. We had the structure, we had the discipline, we had the work ethic, but that very nurturing presence was something that was lacking. So it's something I seek in my everyday life as well.
No grandparents, like a grandma?
No, I had grandparents. My family was very spread out. My dad's from the Midwest, moved to Georgia. He actually moved to Nashville first because he wanted to pursue music and kind of gave up on that and moved to Atlanta. And we were just very spread out. Now, my grandparents did move to Georgia after my mom was no longer in the picture. Right. And they tried their best to help raise us. So like my grandmother was like the mom for some time, but I was a teenager by the time that they moved. Didn't have that connection through childhood.
How do you manage not having your mom in your life now?
Well, I think it's through female friendships, genuinely.
Okay.
So, as a result of my mom not being in the picture, I was actually really scared of connecting with other women for the longest time, even through university. I just didn't know how to traverse talking with other women and connecting with other women. What I knew was boys, and being around boys, being one of the boys. I was a total tomboy growing up naturally, and still find myself falling into those like competitive and kind of grungy tendencies. But I think it was being able to finally find my community, especially within the arts, and find like-minded individuals and connect with women. And I am so happy to say I have an incredible support system of women. My stepmother, Julie Jabley, is wonderful as well. Shout out to Julie, one of my biggest fans and biggest supporters. So, it really is about building what you were denied, finding what you were denied in your everyday life. Something that I have been carrying with me throughout this year. It's been a rough year, but it's been a year of emotional highs and lows. I've made 2 movies, I've been in shows. There's been a lot of happenings. Car got stolen, all kinds of stuff. But the thing that I have been working towards is trying to make my inner child as happy as possible, doing things that feed my inner child and protect that inner child. Because I feel like getting back to your roots is what's going to eventually make you the happiest.
How does your inner child show up? Like, how do you know she's in the room?
When I'm happy doing what I'm doing.
Okay, but how do you know she needs something?
I think it's just when I find myself going through the motions and just, you get your blinders on sometimes and you just keep your head down and you keep pushing and pushing. And I think whenever I feel myself lacking joy or lacking inspiration is when I really need to lean into that inner child the most. And just finding ways to protect myself and protect my boundaries as well. It's about being emotionally aware. Yeah. And it's something everyone has to work on. I work on it every day. I still find myself catching myself in emotional outbursts. Okay, Cancer women, okay, you understand?
Yes.
we get a little emotional, it's fine. But I have, as I've matured, I have become better at identifying where that's coming from, where that inner child wound is coming out in my interactions, and been able to tend to that and heal it through my new interactions with people. I react to situations so much differently than I would have as a teenager or someone in my early 20s. Right. I'm so glad I'm a different person than I was 10 years ago. And I hope I'm a different person as I age.
I say that all the time. Yeah. I even look at pictures of myself, even a year ago, and I'm like, I'm not her. No. I'm not that person. So I don't cling to those versions of myself. That's just who I was at that time. But I think too, it's important. I didn't know this when I started becoming more like self-aware, emotionally mature. I didn't realize that it was a practice. It's like working out. Yeah. So it's like, I feel like I said this all the time, but I feel like I misunderstood everything, or I was sold a dream. Like, you go through your healing journey, which I'm still on, and then you come out on the other side and you're good. Like, no, you can revert back to something really easily. Oh, yeah. And like the other day, I almost got snappy on this stranger because she said something that I didn't like. And I was like, that's not how you handle things, Selena. And I had to come home and reflect on that because it was like an old response. But it comes up, it flares up. It does. And you never know. Like, for me, it's like I do my morning stuff and I think I'm prepared for the day. Affirmations and journaling, all that stuff. And sometimes something unexpected happens and I respond in a way, I'm like, that's not how I would have liked to respond.
That's
to
that. Not high vibrational me talking right now.
And I think about my chakra. I'm like, is my chakra out of balance? Or what's coming up? Like, where's this? And it's like, no, it's just a practice. You're going to get tested. And I'm like, damn, I failed. So it's going to happen again. So, but I have to give myself grace in those moments. Like, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I caught myself. I was like, okay, I was a little snappy. And then I just tried to get back to laughing and joking, but I was like, and when I came home, I had to reflect on why was I defensive about that? What did I feel like I needed to prove in that moment? And you're never going to be perfect in these situations, and it's like, damn, you think you got so far, and this is not to be negative, but you think you got so far, and then something happens, you're like, damn. Yeah. Gotta work on that.
I think it's a lifelong journey too. My dad didn't start therapy until he was 63. I was like, who are you? I was like, who are you? Because this is not the Brian I've known my entire life. But it is truly a lifelong journey. And whenever I mess up or I find myself reacting in a way that I don't feel like aligns with the lessons I have learned in life so far, doesn't align with my highest vibrational self. Yeah. It is a learning opportunity. And we were talking about changing up our mindset. I have a tendency to beat myself up too, fall back and say, oh, I shouldn't have handled it that way. But all you can do is move forward. You can't go back. I spend time in the shower thinking about what I should have said 5 years ago. I spend time laying awake at night staring at the ceiling. What should I have said during that interaction that is no longer relevant to me? At all. It's wasted energy. It's wasted time and wasted energy. And all you can do is look forward, move forward, and say, I'm going to be a better version of myself tomorrow than I was today. Yeah. It's
really important. I'm going to go back to acting. Yeah. Wait. So you said that you were doing animation and visual arts. You're still an artist though. Yeah. You're an actress and
artist, and
you sing or?
So I do sing a little bit.
Okay.
It mostly comes out in theater, musical theater.
Okay.
But I still do visual art, and most of my online presence has come from my visual art. I still do character design. I have leaned very heavily into comedic meme culture, which has brought a lot of success.
Did you draw your Instagram picture?
I did. I did. So that's my artwork.
I need a new logo, obviously.
Girl, I will help you out. I will help you out. Find my art profiles under Captain Sass. That's my art tag.
On Instagram?
Instagram and TikTok.
Okay.
Instagram and TikTok.
Okay.
So TikTok has actually been very helpful and instrumental.
I like TikTok. I have a problem though. I can't.
The doom scrolling.
I'm addicted to TikTok. I have a real problem, and I'm working on it.
Yeah. I try so hard to say I'm only interacting with this app when I'm putting something
That's
out
what I
there.
yeah.
But did I also spend like 10 minutes scrolling this morning before my coffee?
Only
Absolutely.
10?
Absolutely.
So I deleted the app, and now I'm only on TikTok Studio. So, and now I got back on there today because I'm going to commentate the football game, even though I don't know what I'm talking about. It's funny. But I haven't been on there in a week because I spend like on a Sunday night, I'll spend hours like watching TV, and I'm like TV's in the background and just laying on the couch scroll. I'm like, this is not good at all.
Having the intention behind unplugging it's hard to make it a habit.
Yeah.
But that has been another challenge I have set with myself this year. I think like the height of the pandemic made it to where I was just so glued to my phone because it's all I had. I was in a tiny little studio apartment, and I could maybe go walk a trail down the way. I lived on Cheshire Bridge Road at the time. I love that area of town. I love this area of town. But the nature trails around Midtown are fantastic.
Oh, really?
And that's the only way I had to unplug, other than just getting out and taking a walk, was to scroll. So it's been a lot of retraining my brain to seek that dopamine somewhere else.
Yes.
Because that's what it is. You're microdosing dopamine every time you scroll. So I try to find something else to feed that part of myself.
No, for sure. And I told myself, you can't always have dopamine. Like,
no.
So I'm working on sitting in emotions that are uncomfortable, or just like delaying gratification. That's a practice, and patience. I was like, I have to have patience even in uncomfortable emotions, and like being bored, and just go. And I have so much that I need to accomplish, and then I have lists. Go work on one of your things, like read your book you're working, like just do something else. And it's not that you can't have it, but it's like you're abusing this.
Yes,
It's excessive. Yeah. And it's like no balance, and that's not okay.
And it's like the idea of gluttony behind that too, right? Like gluttony isn't just, okay, I'm gonna eat everything in sight. It's overindulgence in any form. Overindulgence in any form.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of discipline. And I still find days where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have a bed rot day. I'm not gonna get out of my PJs. I'm gonna lay around. I'm gonna watch something. But I try to do that in moderation, and I try to do it when I know I'm exhausted and I need to slow down.
You have to.
Yeah.
Because I was abusing relaxation too. Because on Sundays, I was like, this year has been a tricky year, so I was going through a lot, and I was like, but you have to take care of yourself, but life doesn't stop.
Yes.
So you still have to show up for your life. You have to find some kind of way to do it. And so I was like, every Sunday I was bedriding. I was like, no, you don't need it every Sunday.
No.
You don't need to. My body doesn't need that.
No.
So I'm finding ways to or micro bedriding. So last night I bed rock for an hour before I went to sleep. So I was like, that's
microdosing bedrock. I am helping you coin that term immediately. I love that.
Because we can't lose a whole day. I mean, unless it's like your body really needs.
Oh, absolutely.
But losing a whole day every week, baby girl, that's 52 days.
Yeah.
That's not smart.
No.
But if we can microdose, I like this. I just thought of it.
I do too. I'm going to implement that in my daily practice, a little microdose of bedrock.
And I love thinking about not being gluttonous. Okay, gluttony is not the answer either. I really like that. What gave you the courage to pursue acting? Because I don't know if you didn't grow up around actors, right?
No.
I didn't either.
No.
And so I thought of this world as something out there, like somebody else does that.
Yeah.
And I only thought you could be a Denzel or Meryl Streep or Angela
Oh,
Bassett.
I love Meryl Streep.
Yes, but I thought you had to be that.
Yeah.
I didn't know all the spaces. I didn't know all the other opportunities.
Yeah.
You could be a working actor for 40 years and no one knows who you are, and you're making good money, and that's I don't care about the fame. I care about
Me
the
neither.
art.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying Meryl Streep does, but I'm saying they just got to a level that was just crazy. Like they're the 1%ers or whatever of their industry, but I didn't think that. I didn't have the courage for years. Like you did it young. Like I was always in schools with theater, and I didn't do it because I was too embarrassed or too nervous.
Yes.
And it took me. I don't want to say my age, but it took me until like my late 20s, early 30s to really even have the courage, and even I still struggle with it. So what made you feel like I could do this?
Yeah.
Like for real.
I genuinely resonate very deeply. I know I'm still in my 20s. I'm 29. I'm almost there, y'all. I'm almost to full adulthood. I'm still cooking. But I really resonated with the, like, I feel embarrassed. I feel like I can't pursue this. I feel like I have to be at this level, because I truly think that the answer to finding success in your own terms is not taking yourself too seriously, not being afraid to embarrass yourself. Because when you look at like it being embarrassed or like being put on the spot or bombing, it creates so much anxiety in us, and I think it is like a primal thing, you know, because all eyes are on you. You're like, whoa, okay, this is feeling very predatory right now. But I think it was just releasing the idea that I had to be perfect, and that I was deserving of happiness and fulfillment where I was. I think that was the emotional journey that I went through in my early 20s, and I'm still dealing with that myself, just like you said you do. It's a day by day thing. It's a day by day thing.
I don't know what the day's gonna bring.
Yes,
emotionally.
like I thought that I had to look a certain way, sound a certain way. You know, I've always been a plus size woman.
I struggled with my weight and my.
Oh, girl.
When it's still a thing, but like when I was in elementary school, middle school, my grandfather was like, "Girl, you are fat."
Granddad, check yourself. Is he bald?
He was a big man himself. He wanted me to be a part of his tribe. He was my bestie, and I love him so much. But I needed to hear that. I mean, back then this was the 90s. You could say it was okay to say you're
heroin
fat.
chic.
You're
heroin
fat.
chic at its height. Yeah.
But I needed to hear it because then I started thinking about even as a young girl, I was like, I gotta. But anyway, that was one of my things, and I had like a bunch of I had bad teeth, like all these things like that I had to get past, because you don't fit.
Yeah.
Now there's more representation in all areas for looks. But back in the 90s when I was growing up, early 2000s, you had to be you had to be model skinny, beautiful face, Halle Berry, like you had to be beautiful, teeth beautiful, you're perfect. Oh, and I had real bad acne, so I'm like, what the hell? So you're not gonna make it, babe. I said all that to say, in what world was I going to be on TV?
No, I mean, I feel like, and you're right, we are leaning more into diversity and representation
in all kinds of ways,
and we need to keep pushing for that, and being adamant about that, because I see we're kind of slipping back into less representation and almost slipping back into the heroin chic of the 90s. And I feel like all of us were dealing with the insecurity of the women before us too, from the 80s and the 90s, where it was an expectation to look a certain way. And there's still pressure to look a certain way. But I think it took me having the discipline and working on myself, because I work out 4 or 5 times a week. I weightlift, I dance, I run, and I'm still a curvy woman. I'm still a curvy woman.
Same.
And it took me saying, this is who I am, and I want this so badly. Why would I hold out for something that might not happen and get down the road and say, damn it, I should have just done it. I should have just pulled the plug. So, there was this pressure of perfection. There was this pressure of, this is what you have seen your entire life, so you need to fit that mold. And it wasn't until people started reaching out to me because of my look and because I was different, that I was like, oh wait, I've got something here that I can work with.
Yeah.
You know, with Black Velvet, Kenyatta, the director, reached out to me on Instagram to come audition because he found my headshot out there. And he was like, you look exactly how I pictured this character. And I was like, well, boy's only seen my headshot. He hasn't seen my body. How is he going to react to a size 12 woman in this role? Because Maggie Black, she's ex-military. She's a badass. She's a business owner. She works out. And I'm like, I don't know if somebody would look at me and see me in that kind of role. But it was so encouraging because after I had been cast, he came up to me and he was like, you know, the ADs, Kim and Kelly, were like, as soon as you walked in the room, they were like, that's our Maggie Black. And he was like, hold up, we got to see her act first. But it was it was an eye-opening experience for me because, you know, I've done theater for so long and kind of did get pigeonholed into the comedic role, as many plus size women do. You know, you watch TV, you see these plus size actresses thriving in a comedic space. And then it isn't until they lose a lot of weight that people take them seriously and start casting them in dramas. But I was given the opportunity and the chance to do that as I am. And I said, wait a damn minute. Like, I don't have to wait around for something to happen to me. I can just make it happen as I am.
I love that. Like, it's like confirmation, like, oh, I can do this.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I forgot about, like, plus size. You're not plus size. 12 is plus size now?
12 is plus size.
Really?
Yeah, 12 is plus size, but that's okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, yeah.
Look, are
Most
you sure?
plus size models are 10 to 12. 10 to 12. Unless they're doing commercial acting, you know, most high fashion plus size models are, if you find them, are like size 12. They're not even like what most people would consider plus size.
No.
So yeah.
I didn't, and there's nothing wrong with being plus size. I just didn't know it started at.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it
12.
sounds crazy, right? Because 14 is like the national average for women.
Okay. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, that's the national average for women. That's why when you go shopping, you're like, why are there so many like quadruple X's and extra smalls? Why is there nothing left? It's because everything is being marketed and pushed down our throats for this certain body type.
Yeah.
But in reality, like we all kind of fall into this specific mold.
Right,
you know?
right. I didn't know that. That's so wild. Okay, that's a lot to think about. Oh my gosh.
We get deep on.
Yo, we do. There's been
Yeah.
What have been the biggest, I mean, we kind of talked about them, but what's been the biggest challenges outside of that? Like, as far as, because the part of the show is, we always talk about in our society, like, oh, you want to do this, just do it, just keep going. But what are the real, like, doing things? Like, what do you do on the days when it's hard? How do you get your roles? Like the real stuff, not that it's fluffy, but like, believe in yourself.
Oh,
and just keep going. And that's great. Like, you need those little micro encouraging, but but it's like, what do I do?
Yeah. So for me, variety helps. You know, I think everybody very often has this idea of you have to find this one thing and it's yours and you pursue it with everything you've got. But what do you do when you get burnt out? You know, what do you do when it becomes exhausting? You know, I'm taking a break after this show. I did a show earlier this year. I did 2 movies this year. I'm doing another show now. I'm like, I need a break during the winter. Yeah. But I have other passions. I have other things, like not only my art. I'm starting to write a book. I'm starting to write a high fantasy book that I'm hoping to turn into a trilogy. My best friend in the world just opened a bookstore.
What's the name of the bookstore?
Damsel. It's at the Mill on Etowah up in Canton. So it's a bit of a drive here from Atlanta for my Atlanta folks.
Damsel.
But I mean, she's just taking off and she has been such an inspiration to me because I'm like, damn, she's a mother of 3. Like she went from making $40K a year to having a 6-figure business within a single calendar year.
What's her business?
So it's a bookstore. It's Damsel Bookstore.
You said she just opened it.
She just opened it in on August 1st, and it's already a 6-figure business.
Wow.
And it's because she poured so much into different facets of that business. She didn't just focus on being a bookstore. She said, what are events that I can host? What are clubs I can host? She's planning a club specifically for like single mothers who just need to connect with other women. And she has been such an inspiration to me. And she was like, you should write the damn book. And I was like, I'm going to write the damn book.
Write the damn book.
You're right. But it has been having variety. I know that if I need a break from acting, I can work on the back end. I've worked in lighting. I have worked in costuming. I have worked in set design and set building. I have other things that will still fulfill that need to be a creative outside of acting. So when I do get burnt out or I do need a break, I don't have to resort to bed rot. I have something else that I can give my energy to. And I do also think it comes with community. You know, you go and you support your community. I am so fortunate to have the cast of Black Velvet coming to see my show today at Center Stage North Theater, Lend Me a Soprano. They're coming out and I'm like, this is what it's about. You go and you support other artists. And when you go and support them, you're like, man, I need to get back to it. I need to get back to it. And it does light a fire under you to continue doing something to feed that part of yourself.
Yeah. You said something. Oh, quick side note before I forget. When people with children do big things, I'm like, there's no excuse for me. Because you have little people at home to take care of, little humans.
And I just have a dog.
And I don't even have a dog. Like, Selena, get a girl, lock it. Like, you don't have any excuses. If these people can do it, you can just go ahead and shut up and do the work.
I'm convinced she's superhuman. She's wild. She's going to school. She owns a business. She's got 3 kids.
I need to talk to her because I dog sit sometimes and I'm like, oh,
I'm so tired. I'm so tired. She's like, I'm tired, but I'm happy. I'm tired, but I'm free. Because she was working and I'm not going to drop names or anything. But she was working as a paralegal at the state capitol. She was just miserable. She was miserable. And she called me every day crying. And when she started this business, it turned into calling me every day to talk about this new thing. And I told her, I was like, it is such a refreshing change of pace as your friend to pick up the phone and hear joy on the other side of the phone. I can still tell you're tired, but I know you're fulfilled. I know you're happy. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like you're going to be tired anyway. You might as well be tired from the thing you like.
Exactly. And that's another thing. That's another thing that keeps you in it. You know, you're like, oh my God, it's so much work, but you're going to be doing the same amount of work no matter where you're at. So you might as well do something that feeds your soul.
No, it's so true.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you something else about that. Oh, the community. Yeah. So this is, since I love Atlanta as well. Yeah. Since I moved to Atlanta, this has been the furthest I've gotten in my career, but it is not because of me. It is because of community. Yeah. And it's not even, and sometimes it's like not even anybody saying anything. It's just like seeing these people who say I met you a year ago and I see how far you've come. It's so inspiring. It's like, damn, I know where they started. I can do it too. And it's encouraging, it's inspiring. And so what I've done is like, and I really think it's important to like not stay on an island, you know, because I never got far by myself. All the times I tried and all my friends were, and they're great people, but if all my friends were in different industries, I never got as far as I did when I started surrounding myself with people in this industry, no matter what capacity, you know, because there's so many things you can do in this, just in entertainment or as an artist.
That's why I'm really cautious of people who say, I'm self-made, I'm self-made, I'm self-made, because you're not. It takes a community of people to lift you up. Anyone you talk to, they're like, they have their speech ready. Who are you thanking when you get that award, you know? I'm like, oh my God, I could not do this without my husband. I could not do this without my husband. He has come out and helped support the show multiple times. There have been days I've had so much going on. I'm like, I haven't eaten a single meal today. And he's brought me dinner while I'm doing what I'm doing. Wow. I know that I have people in my corner and that's what lifts me up. If I were doing this solo, I don't think I could. I don't think I could lift that weight. But we were never meant to in the first
No.
place. That's like modern society, I feel like, is almost geared to isolate you. It's geared to make you feel like you have to do it all by yourself. It's geared to make you feel like you just have to put those blinders on, put your nose to the grindstone, and power through, when it's never been about just powering through.
No.
It's been about doing it together.
Yeah. I think that's so important. And what you said, like, I feel like with our society, you have to push against that push of being isolated all the time. It is so true. And my friend said something that stuck with me like 10 years ago. He was like, we're not supposed to be alone. That's why the worst punishment in prison is solitary confinement.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That's the worst punishment you can get in jail.
Alone with your thoughts, like, God forbid.
with no human interaction.
Yes.
That's like the worst punishment.
Yeah.
And that's because you're not supposed to be by yourself like that for days and days and
It's
days.
innate. You need other people.
You need other people. I know, especially, I'm an extrovert. I would go, I don't know, I might be an extreme extrovert because I get energy from other people.
Yeah.
I need my alone time when I bed. I need to recharge.
Of course.
But my recharging is quick. It's speedy.
Yeah.
It's like I can have like 5 or 6 hours by myself and be like,
You're like, okay,
back.
I'm back at it. I'm ready to go back out.
Hey, hi world. I mean, I'm shy too, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I get very shy, but the people that I know, I get so invigorated by being around them, and it's like, it's helpful. It's healing.
Yes,
when I have good conversations, that's another reason I do the show. Like, it gives me an excuse to talk to these cool people who have accomplished all these great things. And after I'm charged up because and I get to learn like what. And it gives the person a platform to talk about the things that they're doing. Because most of the times the things you're doing are, you need the support of humans to watch your
absolutely
things.
do.
You need people to show up to your shows.
Absolutely you do. Like, hello, you're not self-made. It took the fans, it took the audiences to get you some clout.
Yes.
Like, don't put that all on yourself.
No.
You got to show the love. And after I work on projects, the thing I remember the most isn't necessarily the role. It's the experience I had with the people. You know, I think another thing that just has to happen for you to be successful, you have to have an ego death. You have to get over yourself. And I feel like if I come into a space full of high vibrational people who have learned the same life lessons as I have, we can just get to work. We can just get to work. But when ego gets in the way, you know, feelings get hurt, things can't be created. Art and ego can't be together. Art and ego can't be together. Yeah.
I always pray or affirm or whatever. One of my meditation things is like that I get on sets with people who are kind and like emotionally intelligent, because this industry is like any other workplace where you can work somewhere where people suck. I'm sorry. I don't want to say they suck, but they're just not people you want to be around all day.
Energy vampires.
Yes, and you
Energy
don't want to be around these
vampires.
people all day. You can work around people who are just not, and you can get on sets that are like, oh my, am I in heaven?
Yeah, exactly.
So I really like, that's my biggest hope, is that I always end up on, and I know it may not always happen, but that's my hope, that I always end up on sets with people who I like being around.
Yeah.
Because these are long days. These are not quick.
Oh, yeah.
Your shift is not 8 hours typically.
You gotta be able to laugh.
Yes.
You better make me laugh. You gotta keep me awake.
Yes.
We gotta play. Because again, it goes back to not taking yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have a good time if you're too in your head about getting things perfect.
Yeah.
You just have to roll with it.
At the very least, be nice, be considerate. Just
be kind.
Be kind, be respectful at the very least.
Yeah.
If you come in, we all have our days. Or if it's a set that's a drama and everybody has to get into character, you know, we might not joke that day, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But just don't be nasty.
Yeah.
Don't be nasty to me.
Please and thank you. Yes.
Just be a kind person.
And I love what you said about, like, if it's a drama and people have to get into character, because some of the most dramatic works I've done, I've had the most fun backstage with.
Okay.
I was in August Osage County. Great movie if you've never seen August Osage County, but I was in the stage play production over at Act 3 Productions in Sandy Springs. And that is a heavy show. There is child SA, there is mental health, there's unfortunately suicide and things of that nature. It's a very heavy piece, and it's 3 hours long. So you're going at it for a long time, and everyone needs to decompress. But that cast was always cutting up backstage and we were always having a good time.
Yeah.
And yes, we had to like come down from it and prepare for it. People, you know, put in their headphones, had their playlist or had their moment to get into character, but we were always there to support each other at the end of it and lift each other back up again.
Yeah. You know when you're being not a good person.
Oh yeah.
Kinda, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We're running out of time. So I'm gonna see what do you hope that people say about you when you're not in the room?
I think it goes back to being kind. I hope that when I walk out of a room, somebody feels seen. And I think it was because I felt so isolated and unseen as a kid.
Me too.
You know, I hope that the person who starts talking and feels like everyone's ignoring them looks up and sees me making eye contact with them and me saying, what were you saying? Go on. I want people to feel like they walked out of the interaction with me better for it.
Okay.
And when I am gone, I hope that what people say is she made everyone feel loved, regardless of the setting she was in. I think, and again, you know, what I'm remembering from my experiences as an actor are the people, less than the role. I might forget what I did on stage, but I'm always going to remember those people. Yeah. And I hope that I can make people feel the same way.
Yeah. When I go, it's just like this is a side note. When I go on stage or when I do this show or whatever, I almost like I prepare, and I almost leave. I'm almost not there, and I just kind of let it come out of me. So I'm definitely not going to remember the work.
Yeah, exactly.
Later on, but it's how you feel.
Yeah.
And I will say, when I met you, I remember you being very nice, and then, or I wouldn't have probably like asked you to be on the show. but what stood out to me was when you said, when we were sitting like this, they were talking about posture because we were sitting on stools. Go check out Black House, you'll see. And you were like, I don't sit like a shrimp. And
I'm always shrimp.
Me too.
I am shrimp.
But ever since that day, I think about every time I'm sitting like this.
You're like,
I'm like,
no
I'm
shrimp.
not a shrimp. I am not a shrimp.
I love it.
I think about that. So that stood out.
I just want people to laugh.
Yeah.
Like, you know, last night, my co-star, Chelsea TT, fantastic costumer. She's had several articles written about her here in Atlanta.
Okay. Incredible
artist. Go check her out. Very talented. But she was like, Haley, you are a clown. And I love that for you. And I was like, listen, we gotta laugh so we don't cry.
Yes.
We gotta laugh. There is too much going on in this world, again, for us to take this too seriously. So
real.
let's just laugh and have a good time with each other.
Yes. And I say something dark. I say, I'm not gonna make, you know, I'm gonna die one day.
Yeah.
So like that's a guarantee. So it's not, none of this is gonna matter. Like,
no.
I don't want to be remembered for anything nasty, but for the most part, people are probably not gonna even be thinking about me like initially, but then they're gonna go on with their life. So it's like, it's not that big.
It takes the pressure off.
It really does. It's like, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And then with the laughter really quickly, Napoleon Hill, you know who he is, right?
Yes.
I listened to, somebody put it out, this video series he did. It's real long. But one of his things, and in the book I read, Think and Grow Rich, he says every morning, go in private because you don't want people to think you're crazy, but make yourself laugh for like 15 minutes. It's one of the things that is supposed to help you like in your day or whatever. I haven't done it, but I want to start practicing it, like fake laughing, and then I just start really laughing.
I use my dog as an excuse to not think I'm talking to myself. I'm like, I'm talking to my dog, obviously.
Sometimes I pretend I'm on my phone. Or
in public, absolutely.
Do you?
I'm like, oh my God.
If
someone is like looking at me, especially a man at the gas station, being at the gas station at night as a woman is terrifying.
That's the horror movie.
It's like constant hypervigilance, and if I notice someone is making, I'm like, hi, honey. I'm almost home.
I'm almost there. I always find a go-to line. I always do that.
Take notes.
Oh my
ladies.
gosh, I do that all the time. That's why we're still here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big brain. Big brain.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap us up so we can get, because Haley has to go to her show. She's booked and busy. Okay.
Blessed and busy.
Yeah.
Blessed and busy.
Blessed and busy.
Booked and blessed, blessed and busy.
I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it. Okay, the last question to close out. How do you define success?
I think it's feeling fulfilled. I think it's knowing that you're not pouring from an empty cup and that you walk away from your day feeling better for it than feeling exhausted. Because we were talking about it walking in, right?
Yeah.
I think it's okay to be tired, but fulfilled. Just like my best friend in her bookstore. You might be working. Listen, if you are in the industry, you are going to be working more than any 9 to 5. You are going to be working 80 hours a week. But you're going to walk away from it feeling so much more fulfilled because you just went out on a limb and did it. You just did it. So I would say it's a feeling of fulfillment and just being able to say, I did the damn thing.
Yeah. I just got a flashback of me as a child, and I had never thought about it, but if she saw me now and where I'm going to go, she would be so, she'd be like, wow, you did it.
That is what I'm saying with the inner child. Like, do something.
I didn't think about that. That got triggered because of what you said earlier about making your inner child happy. Oh, thank you for saying that. Aww.
Yeah, if 5-year-old Haley can look at current Haley and be like, oh my God, she's so cool. I've done it. I've done the damn thing already.
What does she say?
I hope she does.
What do you think she says?
I think she'd say, oh, you cut all your hair off, but also you cut the bangs.
It looks fabulous.
Thank you. It's a signature. It got me that role in Black Velvet. That's why they called me in, was the hair. But I do think she would be so happy to know that we're still making art and still being creative. And, last note about the inner child, be nice to yourself too. Yeah. Because something, especially as someone who has struggled with body image for basically my entire life, standing in front of the mirror, like, would you say what you are saying about yourself right now to that 5-year-old child, that 5-year-old you? Because your job as an adult is to protect and fulfill that inner child, because that's still who you are. That's still who you are.
Yeah. I love that. Oh, wait, can you talk to your inner child? Do you talk to her? I
think it's more just being true to myself.
Okay.
That makes her feel fulfilled.
Okay.
I had to work through emotionally. It came with the ego death. I had to work through that inner teenager for a minute. She was a mess.
Oh,
that inner teenager. Talk to her. No.
I don't know.
We call her on the holidays, and that's about it.
I just forgive her. I said, girl.
Yeah,
I don't know what you were doing, honey.
I get it, but we're not her anymore, and thank goodness for that.
No, she was something else. I still pray for her.
Yes.
I'll just pray for her.
Gonna give her a hug.
She needed one.
Someone give her a hug.
She just wanted a hug. She needed and wanted a hug.
I still take hugs. I still love hugs.
Oh, same. Okay, we did it. You have to come back.
Yes, please have me back. Genuinely, I was so thrilled when you reached out to me. I was like, I get to be on her podcast for real, not as Maggie, but as Haley. So I hope that you had fun. I love talking with you. Maybe it's the cancer connection, but
and we're both. I think it's because we're both like very transparent, very open, and like authentic. I hate using. I'm using these buzzwords, but I'm an open. Like you said before we started, you said you're an open book, and I'm an open book too. And I like that because I feel like it helps people like not feel alone. Like you said, body image stuff. I deal with body. I still deal with it. Like I still have to practice. Like I look good. I look good today.
I think that's a product of the isolation as well. I think that I read something the other day about how my generation in particular is very strong with their boundaries, but sometimes it's to the point that you aren't vulnerable and you aren't real with people. I think we need to give people more benefit of the doubt. And anticipate them meeting us where we're at. We don't have to show up as our best self every day. We don't have to show up happy every day. But if we are open and vulnerable with people, that's what makes us happy. Okay. That's what makes us happy because we know we're being accepted as we are, where we are.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it's not realistic to be happy every day.
No.
And sometimes you just can't put it on.
Girl, the masking. Sometimes I get so tired at the end of the day because that's the thing. I know I'm talking about showing up authentically, but sometimes you just have to be the comedic relief.
No, you do.
Sometimes you do. You're like, okay, let me put on this mask because everybody else is feeling some kind of way today too, and I just want to make people smile.
Sometimes that's what the space calls for, though. Yeah, and my authentic self in that moment might be crying, but I can't do that. That's not appropriate.
We'll do that when we get home.
Yes, I've been in meetings and I literally Googled like how to stop crying in a meeting because I felt like I was about to cry, and I'm like, and it wasn't the meeting. I was just going through my own shit, and I'm like, okay. And they said, put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, and I'm in the meeting.
Something else that has helped me, because I deal with anxiety. I am in therapy. I recommend everybody be in therapy, stay in therapy, but being able to physically identify things. Take yourself out of your body and be like, okay, here are 5 things I can see. Here are 4 things I can hear. Here are 3 things I can physically touch near me. It helps ground you.
Yeah.
It helps ground you when you do start feeling yourself getting
I like that.
anxious and emotional.
My friend told me that a long time ago. He learned in the therapy. Not to try to take away from what you said, but
No, you're fine.
But it's really. But I did it before, and it's very, very helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, because I have more. I could talk to you for a long time. Okay. I'm going to close this out. I have to be respectful of our guest's time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Haley, for sharing your time with me and inspiring listeners to redefine success for themselves. You can find out more about Haley on
Instagram. Find me underneath the tag Tooraloora. That's Toora Loora. It's an Irish lullaby if you've never heard it. And also check out my art socials, Captain Sass, and keep an eye out for Black Velvet. It's going to be dropping on Amazon Prime, Peacock, and Tubi.
Ooh, and check the show notes, y'all. I'll have links to Haley's page.
Absolutely.
And then thank you, listeners, for tuning in. Again, I ask that you subscribe, leave a comment. What are your anxiety tactics? How do you stop crying in meetings?
How do you feed that inner child? And if you don't, how are you going to start?
Yes, let us know. This is a conversation, and I want you to be a part of it. So, and again, thank you so much. Follow the show on Instagram at U+Happy. That'll be in the show notes. And I ask the guests to say the tagline, which is, we'll show you our definition of success if you show us yours.
We'll show you our definition of success if you show us yours.
Yeah, we did it. Thank you, Haley.
Thank you so
Thank you all for listening. Tune in 2 weeks because we got Talia Sings next episode. Bye.